Hello friends, it's Lindsay Satterfield on the Productivity Power page, and I'd like to talk to you today about a simple technique to stay on your game throughout the day. So if there's one thing that I hear on repeat from different clients, I hear that, or just in my life in general, I hear people talking about feeling like they're putting out fires all day, or that they're in the reaction mode, that they're not getting to the strategic things, that the day kind of just gets away from them. And so here's a simple way that you can start to hone your own focus. This will help you get greater control and a sense of accomplishment by the end of the day. And it's this simple technique, which I am calling, what was the first word? Pause, rise, assess, decide. Pause, rise, assess, decide. So I'm basically mashing up various pieces of advice I've given over the years to different clients, what techniques that we've come up with together to help them get greater focus and control over their day. So the first thing is, what happens is we get moving really fast. And because information is coming at us so quickly, we tend to pace ourselves with the flow of information, the flow of movement, the flow of things coming at us. And we find we get out of our own rhythm, out of our own pace as we're trying to run to keep up. So I'm always encouraging people to take a beat, take a breath, take a time out, just pause, slow the action down a little bit. And the reason you're slowing the action down is so that you can rise above the action, so that you're not just sucked into the action and doing stuff sort of unconsciously. You actually rise above the action, and this is where you can assess. Is this, where am I? What am I doing? Do I want to continue to do this? So you assess and decide. Am I going to stay with this? Do I need to shift my focus? Do I need to go in another direction? Do I need to wrap up because I need to leave in a few minutes? Things like that. You rise up. And you rise, assess, decide. And then you give your consent, basically. So let me go back. Pause, rise, assess what's going on, and then decide. And when you decide, it's when you're declaring, I am focused on this. I'm going to continue my focus on this. So let me give you an example. Recently I spoke with a client who was surprised by how long some of these tasks that she had were taking. And I can so relate to this. I can get super immersed in doing something that I think is going to take me 40 minutes, and 90 minutes, 2 hours later, I'm still laboring away on that, editing that paper or writing that paper, whatever it is. So one of the things that I suggested to her that she's trying out is to actually have a timer on every hour. She just has a pleasant ringtone goes off that just allows her to kind of get out of what she's doing, rise up, pause, rise, take a little assessment. Do I want to keep going with this, or do I need to shift my focus? Hi, Kristen. Do I need to shift my focus? So you pause, rise, assess, and then decide. One of the things that I love talking with people about is this idea of consent to what we're doing in our day. A lot of us feel like we have to do this, and we have to do that, and we must do this, and I can't help it, but I'm required to do that. And what starts to happen is we start to feel like we're losing power. We're losing control over our day. That's when we get out of the power seat of our own day, life, whatever. So at each of these moments, you want to really decide, do I choose to do this? Even if it's something that you have to do, you want to decide, do I choose to do this? You want to give everything you're doing in your day your consent. When you do that, you up level your sense of control, and that in turn increases your motivation. If you take the same actions and actually feel like, I don't really want to be doing this, I have to do this, blah, 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 we decrease our sense of control. Same actions decrease our sense of control and decrease our motivation and energy. So this simple technique of pausing throughout your day, finding a rhythm to pausing throughout the day, rising above the action, like not staying in the action, rising above it. It's like the meta game, right? Rising above the action, assessing, do I still want to be doing this? And then deciding yes or no. And that's where you experience your power and control over your day. So I just wanted to give that little tip. Pause, rise, assess, decide. It will help you stay on track. It'll also increase your ability to make smart moves in your day. Instead of just letting all the things come at you and you just do whatever comes your way, you're actually taking charge of your day and making choices. Now, the downside is it means you're responsible for the choices that you make. You can't just say, well, I had a million emergencies I had to attend. You have to actually decide, I am going to attend this emergency. I am going to put out that fire or not. Okay? So pause, rise, assess, decide. Put that throughout the day. And a practical way to do it is to have an alarm on your phone go off at intervals. Is it every 3 hours? Is it every hour? For my one client, she needed to do it every hour so that she could stay on track and make that decision to either stay with what she was doing or move on to something else. So pause, rise, assess, decide. It's a great technique to slow down your day, slow down the action, and make your action more aligned with your intent. So I hope you have a great day. Thank you, Kristen and Jill, for joining in, and we'll talk to you on Thursday.